What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Finally getting back into Farming Simulator. So, gonna start a new farm. Gonna see what it's all about. I'm an avid Farming Simulator player though. This is the first time I've ever done a stream for it. So let's just get into it. We get a couple things set up here. But yeah, we're gonna start a new farm. And honestly, like, if you're new to the game, if you have questions about the game, if it's overwhelming the first time you ever tried it, all of those things are 100% welcome. Ask away, do your thing. Let's see what we got going on here. We're on Elm Creek. I played this back on FS22. And, I mean, it's one of those classic maps, honestly, so I have yet to play it on FS25. But we'll see what we're doing. And we'll talk through, like, basically what the thought process is and everything. Like, starting a farm, like, where to start, what to do first, that kind of stuff. But yeah, let's get a couple settings going here first. That's kind of what I like to do. We'll go to three time scale. I feel like one's way too slow. I feel like 5, depending on the size of your farm. Honestly, it's usually okay, but we'll go with 3 because we're gonna be talking through some stuff and things like that. And then let's see, crop destruction. We'll keep that on. Plowing, I usually keep off. I mean, it just takes so dang long. But like I said, if you have questions, leave them in the comments. If you're not here live, if you are here, put them in the chat, ask away. But we'll get into reasons why I like to play a certain way, certain settings, things like that. But we'll keep plowing off. We'll keep field stones off. We'll keep weeds on. Keep disaster destruction on, I guess. I always turn off automatic engine start. That's we'll get into that in a bit, but that's annoying. I don't usually use AI workers too much, but just in case we ever do, I like to turn all this stuff to off. Otherwise, you're gonna watch your money just completely disappear. I think that should be good. And then the second thing I like to do, especially when starting a new map, is kind of come over here to the top and see what we're actually working with. So everything highlighted in green is ours. Everything else that's numbered, different colors, things like that, that's just everything around the map. So this whole giant square is the giant map. This little itty bitty 3-field farm, everything that's highlighted in green, that's ours. So we're actually doing pretty good. I like to visit each field and kind of see what's going on. So this one has nothing in it. It's already been harvested. That's fine. And then I guess we could always walk. We could definitely walk. But I like to just jump around. So this one's ready to harvest. We got some wheat going in this one. And then looks like we have an empty field. We have an empty field in this one, which is fun. Cool. So we have 2 fields. One's basically ready to plant, one ready to harvest, and then the other one needs to be cultivated. So we're good there. And then the next thing, before we get jumping into it, do we have any animals? Nope, we have no animals. And let's see. And we own no productions. That's fine. And then let's see, where are you at? Vehicles. Okay, so everything on this screen, this is everything we own. So if you jump into a new map and you start with like the starting farm, there's an option for that. Usually get some equipment, some farmland, things like that, and then you can come to this screen and it'll tell you everything you have. So we got a grain cart. We got a cultivator, I guess that is, or a seeder. We got a pickup truck, 2 tractors, and you can see down there in the middle, right there, where it's like the second icon over. It looks like an engine, so that's 116 horsepower on that one, 192 on that one. Super important to keep track of that. Super important to keep track of that. Otherwise, you're going to be buying equipment that doesn't match your tractor, and then it's not going to work, and things like that. So, nice. We get a harvester to start with, header, and a trailer to pull it. Weights are super important if you're picking things up. Oh, we got 3 tractors on this farm. All right. I can get down with that. 2 small ones though. 2 small ones, and that's it. That's everything. All right, so we can jump on over. We already got our harvester outside, so let's go ahead and get that started. I should have grabbed a drink or something before I sat down. That was not good thinking. But basically, we're just gonna unfold it. We're gonna get it all turned on. Everything's like its own separate thing. So, and then if you jump out, you can actually see it. We didn't actually go over this earlier. In the bottom right, I hope my face cam's fine. In the bottom right, you can see what field it is, who owns it, what's growing in it, and then where it says growth, that's kind of how you know, like, if it's still growing or if it's ready to harvest, or if you wait from, like you can see in the top right, we're in August right now. If you wait till September or a month after you're supposed to harvest these things, then they wither. They turn gray. You can't harvest them. You lose all your money. Not good. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So let's jump in. And then I like in 25, it's super nice. You can jump over here and get your steering assist on. And then let's see, is that already lowered? It looks like it is. All right, cool. That's lowered. Got our GPS on, and then we can disable, like there in the top left. Can you see that behind my face? Yeah. So in the top left, you can see enable or disable straw swath. We're gonna disable it. If you have it enabled, it will drop straw out the back, and then you can pick it up. You could give it to your animals. You could sell it for extra profit, things like that. But as it stands right now, we don't have a way of picking that up, so we're not gonna do that. And then we'll just get started. We should see, yep, a line right there. Then that means we could lock it in. So now, because that green line's on, you could lock it in. You don't have to worry about steering. You don't have to worry about any of that. Because before that, my lines used to be all out of whack. But now they're pretty good. And we'll get this field done. See if anyone pops in here. Once they do, we can get a chat going. But in the meantime, sit back, relax, and just enjoy like the the ASMR sounds of farming, I suppose. Lift you up. I think the realistic way of doing a field, from what I've either heard or kind of looked up, is to do the insides first and then do what they call the headlands, which is the outside of the field. I never do that. I never do that. It makes no sense to me. I like to do a nice little border, and then once we get that done, then you can turn around in the field. You don't have to worry about driving over anything or messing anything up, which is super nice. But yeah, see, like I'm hands-free right now, and it's turning for me because it's locked in on that line, which is super nice. But yeah, I mean, it's a small farm, small field, so we shouldn't have to worry too much as far as time goes. Honestly, something like this size, we could probably turn it up to ×5 and we'd be just fine. But we'll get most of the work done on this stream, and then we'll let the questions flow in, and then we can adjust from there. Because really what I want to do, is that down? Couldn't even tell. Because what I really want to do, I mean, obviously every starting farm usually comes with about the same setup. Usually 1 or 2 fields, sometimes 3. Usually 1 or 2 of them's ready to harvest already. One of them usually needs to be cultivated, that kind of thing. So we'll get to go through at least the beginning part of the process, no matter what map you decide to play on. If you're new to the game, I highly recommend doing one of the base game maps, because they're pretty easy to get around. They're pretty set up with everything you need. But that's the nice thing about Farming Sim, like the mod hub, the downloadable content that you see on the main menu. There's so many things. There's so many maps. There's so many different things. You can basically play the way you want to play, which is why I find this game to be super relaxing. But yeah, I always like to take care of harvesting first, because that's the only thing that's really time sensitive. If we don't get that done in the in the month, or every day is a month, so if you don't get that done, ooh, locked into the wrong line there. There we go. And then get my cruise control on. But yeah, that's the only thing. I like to get that done. Then once that's done, you can kind of take your time with the rest of the stuff. We'll probably end up going to the store because I like to play a certain way, which is not necessarily like the most basic way, but we'll talk about like the differences and everything. But there's a thing called precision farming, which is super cool. You have to basically treat your fields, right? Like you got to fertilize them, you got to make sure that there's no weeds growing in them. You got to put a couple other things down like limestone. You don't have to play with that on though. Like I said, if you're new to this and that all sounds like super overwhelming and it's like, yo, maybe this isn't the game for me, you can turn most of everything off just to get used to the game and have fun with it. I mean, if you're playing this and you're not having fun with it, then I guess there really is no point. So, but yeah, when we get over to the store and we start buying things, we can go over all that. Yeah, it's a tiny field, man. This is a super tiny field. It's not even gonna fit half this. It's not even gonna fill half this harvester. That's not good. That's not good at all. Which is gonna be very difficult for us to start making money, but we can take a look. Oh, is that water down there? We can go explore. Once we get this done, we can kind of go exploring a little bit. And then see kind of how much room we have for certain things. There's definitely like a lot of things you can put down on your farm as like passive income, because you do a whole lot of work in this game, like treating the fields, plowing the fields, planting the fields. You do all that basically to sit on them for 12 months, 10 months, 8 months, whatever it is, depending on what crop you put down. And then you're just sitting with no money, no income whatsoever until you do what we're doing right here. So, I mean, I like to start with a little bit of money just so I can, buy some toys. Basically, I like to buy a truck, buy this, buy that. You don't have to. I think the minimum if you're playing on console that you can start with is like 100,000. If you're playing on PC, obviously you can start with 0 if you wanted to, or you can start with $1 million. Honestly. All right, so now that's done. That whole field's done. We can turn the header off so we can hear ourselves. And then, I mean, I guess I could show you the process. Like, you could just drive this thing right on over to the thing that's right in front of us. That's a grain silo. So basically what you want to do with that, there's 2 things you could do at this point. We just harvested the field. We have a bunch of wheat in here. We could sell it. We could turn it into something else, like if we had a production, like a flour production or something. Or you can store it, and the reason you would want to store it is, where's my prices? Come up here, you can see, where is the wheat? There, all the way at the bottom. So you can see like the selling price for wheat right now. Oh no, come back. There we go. This is the selling price for wheat. You could show, where's how you see no fluctuations for this product. Usually there's fluctuations. Do I have a mod on that has no fluctuations on? I must have accidentally did that. Uh-oh. That's not good. Let's see. There's probably something in here that says like automatic pricing or something. No. Okay. Maybe it's the map. I was gonna say I never play with that on. It must be the map or something. But yeah, usually you would go into that screen and it would have like a little chart with all the months. And it would be when you harvest it, it's usually like a low price, and then if you wait until like the opposite side of the year, the price goes way up. And then that you would want to hold on to it to sell it. But I guess in theory, if there's no fluctuations, we could just sell it right now then. There's no sense in holding on to it. But actually, you know what we'll do? Let's get out. Let's go find our tractors. So we got one right here ready for us to go. So I'll show you the process. So we're gonna put the weight on. Probably not super important, but we're gonna do it. We'll get this started. So you could drive the harvester right over to the silo itself, which is fine. In my opinion, it's a little unrealistic. I don't think they would ever actually do that in real life. So what we'll do, come back here. Well, so on the left side above where my face is, you can see your options over there. So just like where we saw like the enable straw swath earlier, there's the thing right below it that says pipe out. So you go ahead and hit that, and that's going to extend the pipe from the harvester, and now it's ready to dump this wherever. Nice thing is it won't dump it. It won't dump it unless you're over something where it'll receive it, if that makes sense. Like it won't just dump it on the ground. So you don't have to worry about that. So we'll come over here, line it up, and as long as the engine's on, you can see it's starting to fill into the trailer right there. And it's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot. I can't wait to go sell this, and you can see just how little amount that we're actually going to get for that. All right, cool. So that's all done. We can get this up and out of the way. Not going to have to use this harvester now. We're not going to have to use this vehicle for a year. So we'll just come over here. We can drop that. Automatically sets onto the trailer there. And then we can come over here. You know what? I was going to move it, but I guess we don't really need to do that right now. That's fine. We can just kind of move this up and out of the way. Nice and neat. Turn it off, and then we're good. Except now I'm stuck. Alright, there we go. And then you can come over here and you can take this. And then you could either... We'll do this later. Because I wanted to show this part of the process just in case you were playing on a map where you didn't want to sell it right away. But basically you just drive on over here, and then you see that, see at the bottom, is that covered? Let's see. I don't think it is. It should be good. If you come on over here, there's nothing there. You just drive right on top, and then as you get to the dumping point, you can see the bottom right, it gives you the controls to dump whatever you have in there. So you can do the same thing we did before. And now this is all dumping into the ground, and it's going into that silo, that column right there, which is super cool. And now it just stores it for you. It just stores it for you. And I guess there's a couple ways you can see how much you have in case you forget. You could come over here to the actual thing itself. And if you just look at it, you can see in the bottom right, it says wheat. It says you got 4,100 liters. So you could do that. Or you could, once you go to the same screen we wanted to see the prices before, once you know you have wheat and it tells you right there, right in the middle there, you have 4,100. So you're good. And we'll come back to that at some point. Let's turn this off. And the reason we definitely didn't go over this earlier. The reason you want to turn this off, or you want to turn your equipment off and everything, is you have to refill everything with gas, just like you would like a normal truck and everything. So definitely don't forget to do that. I think this map is actually super nice. Yeah, there's a gas station literally right across the street, so not bad. This is actually a super friendly beginner map. If you want to get into this, you're overwhelmed, things like that, don't know where to start or what to do, this is definitely 100% an awesome map for you to get started. All right, so let's get this thing started. We have to unfold this. Nope, just gotta lower it. See, and now you can lower this just like you can a plow. Plows are a little different. You can accidentally mess up the map because you can basically plow anywhere, but there is an option for it. It'll say like allow create fields, I think it says, but with a cultivator you don't have to worry about it. So you see how like we can lower it down and we're not in the field. It's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna do anything to the ground until we get up to the field itself, and then you can see it's gonna start changing the dirt in the field. So you don't have to worry about that. It's kind of super nice. Let's get our GPS back on. Yeah, and then that way you don't have to worry about like messing up your lines or messing up the fields and things like that. which is super nice because I definitely made that mistake about 100 times over the years. And then really right now you're just kind of doing the same thing in reverse that we were doing before with harvesting. I'm gonna do the outsides first, which I think in real life they tell you not to, or I guess real farmers they don't. They do the insides. Someone could fact check me on that. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a farmer, but the reason you want to do this and you want to be like super like precise with it is you can see. We'll jump out here. We'll take a look. So this part is now cultivated. You can see on the bottom right, it just says field and there's nothing going on with it. The ground changed, the texture change looks different from over here. If you come over here, it says this is wheat, it was harvested. The thing you want to keep in mind is that you can plant now here, you cannot plant here. You have to go over it and a whole field has to look like this and then you can plant it. If you miss a spot like this little area, I don't think that's part of the field actually, but if you were to not get super precise like on your lines and stuff, the planter will only plant where you did it. So you can end up, you want to maximize your profits basically. You want to maximize your profits, maximize all the work and effort that goes into flipping a field from harvested to ready to plant. So don't take shortcuts. This game is not for those who are not patient. I will be honest there. And then also too, like, this is small tractor, small fields. This is definitely a good way to get into the game, learn everything, learn what different pieces of equipment do, things like that. The game, in my opinion, is far more fun when you get like giant pieces of equipment with bigger engines. They move better, they handle better. We'll do a live stream with that. We'll showcase that a little bit too, or maybe we'll just upgrade this farm at some point. Maybe we'll end up making enough money if we get enough interest on these streams. We'll see how far we can actually take this thing. That's honestly like one of the best things about this game is like giving yourself a little challenge, starting with, you know, limited stuff, limited money, and then seeing how far you can take it. Because right now, as it stands, we're probably gonna make, I don't even know, from that, I would be shocked if it was over $10,000. I bet you it's not even $10,000. Which in this game, cash is king. Cash is absolutely king in this game. Everything is super expensive. If we wanted a bigger tractor, so they're small, medium, large, you wanted to get even a medium tractor, we're talking like over $100,000. So you definitely want to make your money go, stretch it as far as you can. Try not to crash into anything. It's not Grand Theft Auto, so there's no damage to vehicles. You can't like run anybody over. The absolute worst thing you can do though is you can get stuck, which that if you're on PC it's not bad because you have the option for like super strength, and maybe one of these days, because I have it on PC too. We're not currently playing on PC, but one of these days we can like showcase the differences. But yeah, you have super strength on PC, so if you get stuck you could literally just jump out and like pick up the tractor. You cannot do that on Xbox or PlayStation. So if you get stuck, you're basically stuck. You can reset your vehicle. You can send it back to it goes back to the dealership, but that's about it. Then you got to go over there, you got to drive it back, you got to go pick up your equipment. Like it sucks. So just don't do it. Be patient, try not to get stuck, don't tip over. Everything is weight based in this game, so if your trailer's heavy and you turn a certain way, it will tip you over. Definitely keep that in mind. Alright. So like these ups and downs, I mean it's a small field, so they don't really take all that long. I don't even know what we're supposed to put in this field, if I'm being honest. It's so dang small. It's so dang small. But like I said, I want to specifically do this map because it's very user friendly, and the whole point of this stream was to have something uploaded for those who maybe just don't know how to get into it, even though they want to get into it, or it's a little overwhelming to get started because you don't know where to start. I think this is an absolutely awesome map to get started with. There's nothing overwhelming about this map. It's basically set up for you to learn. So take that for what you will. A couple more passes here, and then we can figure out what we want to plant. Which that'll be good. That'll be good because then we can kind of go through the planting process, and then kind of what we need for that, what we want to keep in mind, and then we got to go to the store. We got to buy a few things that I need to buy, I guess, that you don't necessarily, depending on your settings, you might not need to buy, but we'll go over them anyway in case you do want to play with those settings on. And then theoretically we have money to play with because I started with $250,000, so we could probably get into a bunch of things once these fields are done. Kind of showcase a lot of different elements of the game. The passive income that we talked about earlier, that's really going to come from like if you have greenhouses set up, you have greenhouses and you can grow things like lettuce, tomatoes, like that kind of stuff, and then that goes year round. That goes year round. Why am I missing a whole ass spot right there? What the hell? I feel like someone might have been having a couple brewskis while they were doing this field. Nice thing about the GPS is, though, you can see, like, if we pop off that line, those two white, like, noticeably white lines, those are passes that we haven't done yet. And then the other ones that are grayed out, you've already done. So, kind of helps you along the way, keep track of everything. Not bad, though. We should be able to get this done with one more pass here. But yeah, we'll go over greenhouses. Maybe we might be able to find a way to fit some animals on our farm. Probably nothing crazy, probably like chickens or something. But we can go over them at least. And then that way you guys have at least an idea of where to get started if that's something you want to do. And then maybe we can talk about some production points. So this probably, oh no. I just realized we have to do this field too. And this one's going to take a while. So I think, let's jump into the menu real quick. Oh, there's the lines I was talking about. I don't know where that came from. Like earlier it said there was no fluctuation in price, and now, I mean, I guess there's really no fluctuation in price. It goes from 12.23 to 12.22, so it's the same price. But theoretically, if this map might just be doing that on its own, some mod, like the people who create the maps, they put certain settings in, so maybe they don't want it to be that way. I'm not sure. But a typical map, that line won't go straight across. It'll kind of go, it'll dip down and then have like a low point and then a high point. So you get the gist of it. We wanted to see our farm. So yeah, based off this, there's not a whole lot going on with it as far as space. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'll keep these two fields and plant them. And then maybe this field over here, because it was so small, maybe we'll put like our greenhouses and chickens and things like that over here. I don't know. We got time to think. That's the nice thing too. It's like you have these fields and you have things to do, so you can actually, like, if you have a couple thoughts, you don't know what direction you want to go in, you can just do what I'm doing and start working a field, and as you're doing it, you have plenty of time to think and you can kind of straighten out your thoughts a little bit. But man, I tell you what, like, the first thing I want to do after we get done this season is I want to upgrade our equipment. This stuff is so dang small. Perfect size though for the small tractor and the small fields, but still. All right, let's get you. And then I'm trying to think, do I want to do, well, I guess I already have it set up, so I might as well show you. It'll be a little different because you don't necessarily have to play with that precision farming on, but it's relatively the same process though, so we can talk about some of the differences when it comes to treating the fields, treating for weeds, treating with like fertilizer and things like that. Yep, come on. Well, I guess I can wait. I can wait until we get into the planting process too, because it's really up to you what and when you want to plant something. You want to go wheat or barley or canola, things like that. Everything has like its pros and cons, I think. All the ones I just listed, those are all like the basic ones that most people are going to start with though. So that's fun. All the equipment we have is set up for those ones that I listed. It's when you get into like more specialty type crops, which will, yes, make you more money, but it will take you so much money to invest into the process. Like they all have like their special planters and special harvesters and things like that. So don't go over there. There you go. All right, I dig it. And now for the ups and downs, which is going to take us forever. But that's the nice thing about GPS. GPS and cruise control. And then, yeah. Oh, is that someone walking over there? That was weird. Look at it. Just walking on private property. What scared that bejesus out of me. Yeah, you see how like slow this tractor makes those turns and how it takes a little bit for it to get going. This tractor is very small. Very small. When you upgrade to like the larger tractors, you don't have that problem whatsoever. And I'll be honest, it's been a long time since I played with like the small equipment like this. But that's okay. We can do things the hard way today. There's the gas station I was talking about. So we can go over there at some point. We can see that. I don't know. I'm hoping, especially not with like having any back and forth in here right now. I'm hoping that when you guys do end up watching this, if you're new to the game, like I said, overwhelmed, trying to get into it, don't know if you should get into it. Hopefully, my goal is to at least cover most of the basics. That way you can at least jump around and you can see each part of the process, or with me talking, hopefully I'm answering enough of the things I guess I would be asking if I was new to it. So, and hopefully it helps somebody, honestly. Like when I first bought this game, I bought FS22, Farming Simulator 22. That was my first one. And I bought it and I was so overwhelmed. I couldn't even, I don't think I found a farm. I don't think I found I didn't even know there was like a new farmer versus like where you get like the starting farm and you quit with the trucks and like all that stuff. I didn't even know that was an option. And I'm pretty sure I started with nothing. I didn't even know how to buy a piece of land, let alone get into farming. I was so beyond frustrated. And I think I put the game down, didn't play again for like months, if not like a year. And then I think I saw someone playing on YouTube and I was like, oh, okay, like that makes sense, or that looks like a lot of fun. And that's definitely not what I was doing the first time. So hopefully this video does something similar for some of you, because once you get into it, it's really hard to put it down. It's one of those like realistic yet cozy type games where it's just you and you can unwind. I like to put, if I wasn't talking to myself right now the way I am, which I promise you is not one of my hobbies. If it was just me farming right now, I mean, you can put a podcast on, you can put a movie on, set your lines, your GPS, set it, forget it, move on. It's relaxing. Like I said earlier, it's kind of like a little ASMR with the engine noises and things like that. Only a few more. Honestly, this field for as big, for the size of it compared to the other one, man, words are hard today. It's actually going by pretty fast, which is not bad. I guess I could show you too how to use a worker. I don't really. It's gonna take our money though if I do that, and I don't really want to lose any money. So maybe we'll do a couple more passes, and I'll show you how the worker gets set up if you ever want to use that feature. We'll do it like on like the last line because it won't take too much money if we do that. But yeah, I mean, already you could see the amount of work that goes into like one field. What time is it? Oh, it's only 9. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning, so we haven't really lost too much time. But obviously you could see the difference. Like if you had a huge field or multiple big fields, it would take you a whole day to do one job, as opposed to we're going to take one full day to do basically every job we can think of. And then you can jump into the cab too if you wanted to. Super realistic. I don't think this one has GPS in it, but if you had one that had GPS in it, you could actually see the screen with your lines and whatnot. There we go. And like I said, super important you touch up all those lines. Don't leave a little patch. If you can help it, don't leave even the smallest of patches. Your bank account will thank you later. All right, we'll get this last line done. And then we'll set up a worker so you can see that process and how that works. It's the same too if you're on PC or if you're on PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. It's the same process. Buttons are different, but same exact process. So what you'll want to do, and you don't have to do this part, I'm doing it just to help them out a little bit, but you can line up to wherever you're going to start your field or start the job, whatever. In the same way that we did the GPS setup earlier, where we held down circle, because I'm on PlayStation, held down circle, and then you have AI worker and you have steering assist. So steering assist, we set that up. That's going to be the lines for the GPS, basically. Go over to AI worker, it's the same thing, and then you can hit OK. And then from this screen, so like I'm still in full control of the tractor, but if you just tap circle instead of holding it down, you can see my guy in there. Hit the mic. My guy in there, he changed. And then he should get to work here in a second, unless I'm lying. Hello? Why are you not working? So you can see you're supposed to hit the circle button. Puts the worker in there, and he should get to work. I don't know why he's not. It's not me in there anymore, it's the worker. And you can see our money's going down, so I'm getting charged for it. I'm not sure why you're not working. What if we come over here? Maybe lining them up was a problem. He just doesn't want to go. All right, theoretically, you would see him switch like that in theory, and he would start working. So maybe when we go plant the fields, we'll switch it up a little bit, and we'll see if we can see if we can get a worker to actually plant the field for us. So we can get this last one done. Cool. So now we have 3 fields that are basically ready to plant. And you don't have to do this. This is just me, but I like to find a place to put all my stuff, because otherwise I'm gonna forget where it was and I'm gonna lose it, and I don't like that. So we're just gonna, I don't know, set this up and out of the way. Shouldn't be too bad. And then you can go ahead and drop it off. Get the tractor out of the way, and then we're good with this one for a little bit. Cool. All right, so let's get out and let's figure out what we want to do with our lives. We could figure out where the dang store is on this map. Hopefully it's not too far. That's the gas station. You can come over here. You can click on these. These are like selling points. Like when you have different products, you can go around town and sell things. Looking for like a little market basket. That's gonna be our vehicle shop. I think it's that right there. Cool. It's right down the street. Perfect. So what do we need? I'm gonna take. Do we have a bigger tractor? I think we have one all the way down here, and this is our water. So we're gonna have to buy a water tank if we get a greenhouse going. And yes, there are mods to help with all this stuff, to kind of automate things, yada yada yada. There's definitely all that stuff. We can get into those in the future on other streams. I want to set this one up for like the absolute basics. That way you at least know how to get started and go from there. So we can come down here. We're gonna go downtown a little bit. Here's my map. I think it should be up here and to the left. I think if I look at the map on a side like that. Ooh, try not to get run over. And I think it should be up here to the right, maybe? Yeah, here we go. Here's our vehicle workshop. So this is where you can get your vehicles repaired, and you can buy new vehicles. I don't know where the vehicles spawn once you buy them, though. It's a tight little fit back here. Interesting. Maybe out front? That's fine. So we can turn this off. We can go into the store. You have in the store, you have these things, this little percentage tab right here. This is going to be everything that's the used vehicle mark. There you can see 30% off, 40% off, 60% off. These things are super cheap, and every month it'll rotate. So this won't be, these 4 items won't be here next month, and so on and so forth. It'll always be something random, something different. The packs are pretty cool, especially if you're not sure like what you're actually looking for, because you can click on something like, let's say grass, for instance. Like, let's say you wanted to get into mowing grass, baling it up, selling it, that kind of stuff. You can come over here and click on it, and it'll show you everything you could possibly use for it. So you could have like a wagon to pick it up, you have a mower that goes on your tractor, different things like that. Same with like wheat or grain. You need a tractor, you need a harvester, you need a header, you need a trailer, you need all this stuff, right? So you can just come over here and click on it, and it'll show you basically everything that's used for that. So it kind of takes the guesswork out of it for you, which is super nice. What did I even come to the store for? Oh, we're gonna buy, because we're gonna go over the lime and fertilizer. So we can come over here, and I want one that does both. So typically in the base game, this is the only one that does both lime and fertilizer. You can see like the little icons down there at the bottom. And then you can see like this one's only fertilizer only, and so on and so forth. So I think we can get away with this one. It looks like we'll get lime and fertilizer. And then we'll just buy that. $13,000 down the drain. And then we need consumables, and this is where you'll actually find like the lime and fertilizer, but be careful because some things are liquid fertilizer and whatnot. And it doesn't matter. The brands are just for fun. The brands are just there for you to, oh, I like this one or I like that one. They do exactly the same thing. Same with the bags versus the pallets. It's all the same stuff. Size-wise, different, but same product, I should say. Let's see. Like you can see the bag of lime here and the pallet of lime here. It's both the same price. It's both the same amount. It's the same product. What do we want? We want lime for sure. Are we doing lime first? I think we're doing lime first. And I don't know how much that thing fits, so let's just buy like a few of them. That way we can do all our fields. That should work. Now I have to figure out where the hell this stuff went. When you buy it, it's supposed to spawn somewhere. Oh, it spawns across the street. Alright, cool. So this is their little spawn area. This is all the stuff you buy will all come out to like the same spot. So the lime and fertilizer, any piece of equipment that you use for that, it's gonna go on the back like 90% of the time. You just pick it up like normal, and then I'll show you over here to the left. So you can see in the top left, like that little menu or whatever, it's got a few different options there. As you get closer to something, now it says refill. So I'm not near anything, doesn't have the option. I get closer to something, I have the option. You just click on that, and then you can see in the bottom right, it's starting to fill up now. And when it fills, it's only going to fill one at a time, which apparently the thing that we bought only fits one of those things. So we're going to make several trips to go get one. We're 100% at capacity, so it is what it is. Now we'll go back to our fields. We'll get all those done. And this is where it gets a little different. If you're playing, you can play with lime on or off. You can play with precision farming or not. That part gets a little different, but the process is relatively the same. So it'll make a lot more sense here in a second. This is us here, I think, right? So I play with precision farming, so we're going to come up here. And if you're playing base game, if you're playing no precision farming, things like that, you definitely 100% do not need to do this part. But if you are, this is how I do it. So I come over here and I can select the field. And then I can purchase soil information. And that just adds like another like depth of realism, I guess. I'm going to do that for all of our fields, even though this one I'm pretty sure we're going to paint over, but that is what it is. And now I have all this. So now when I go use the fertilizer or the lime, it's going to put down exactly the amount that I need, instead of, it kind of takes the guesswork out of it. And then you put these lines on. And this part, like, we could plant this field. I should have showed you that earlier. Shoot. The whole reason that you're treating the fields is to get more out of what you plant, basically. So when you lime and you fertilize and you take out the weeds, you can get your, let's say we plant wheat again, you can get 100%, and you can, or close to 100%. You'll get more of that product. If you don't do any of that stuff, you'll harvest about 60% of it. So you're spending a lot of money, but you're supposed to be making a lot of money back from that. So if that makes sense, hopefully I explained that well. We'll get this going. Where's my cruise control? Cruise control, we'll turn this on. And you can see now we're treating the fields. We bought way too much lime, I think. But that's okay. That's okay. And we'll do one more pass, and then this field will be done just like that. Super simple. Get that last little bit, and that's done. We'll do the same thing to our other 3 fields, and then we'll figure out how to fertilize this thing. I have to go back to the store at some point. We'll be okay. Whoop, let's loop around. My bad, I missed that. Crazy driver. There we go. Turn that on. I mean, for $13,000, this thing does pretty darn good. Shoot. That's not really bad at all. But like I said, you absolutely don't. There's an option in the on the pause menu or whatever. You absolutely do not need to do this part. Get this little piece right there. Totally missed it. It's fun. And back to the store we go. So it's nice on this map. You don't have to worry about it too much. I mean, it's still a total inconvenience to go back and forth and everything, but in reality, if you were playing this like the long play and you wanted to make things convenient for yourself, buy a trailer, load up the trailer, bring back all your stuff all at once, that kind of thing, you definitely don't want to have to make this trip over and over and over again. That's when this game, I think, gets frustrating for some people. Excuse me. But honestly, too, it's also a really good way to learn the map that you're playing on. And where are we at? Over here. Probably have to do this a few more times. Load this up. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And then I think we should plant and then fertilize. I think that's kind of how that works with precision farming. So I'll show you that part of the process. We can figure out what we want to plant. I guess it depends on what we're going to do. Like if we're going to get chickens, we should probably plant like a barley or a wheat or something so we can feed our chickens and then we don't have to buy chicken food. And we'll get into that too. Like there's definitely options when it comes to all that stuff. One is far more expensive than the other. Like you can easily buy chicken food and not have to worry about it too much. Here's my line here. There we go. But also, if you can have a self-sustaining farm, like you're going to spend way less money, you're going to feel a lot better if you're playing realistic, which I think is pretty cool. But it is what it is. Oh, that last little bit. Look at all that stuff we just wasted. Honestly, I don't even know if I want to do this field. I think this field's kind of a waste because we're gonna put some stuff over there. So let's just empty this. I'll show you that. And we don't have like a forklift or anything like that, so we want to be careful where we unload this at. So your buttons over here, you hit the R1 or right bumper depending on how you're playing. I don't remember what the keys are if you're playing with mouse and keyboard. And then you can unload what's in there, and boom, just like that, just goes in a nice little pallet for you. And then we could be done with this for now. I'm just gonna set it right over here. That guy's still doing laps over there. What the hell? And I think our seeder was over here. I just did not see if we had any seeds in it, which that's gonna be a problem. And these fields, you can drive on them all you want. It's not going to make a difference until the growing starts. Oh, there's no seeds in here. Of course not. Once the growing starts, like the next month or, thereafter, if you're playing with crop destruction on, if you drive through your field, it will do just that. It will destroy your crop. It won't grow anymore. And then you'd lose that on your money. So if you are playing with that on, be super careful how you drive. If you're one of those drivers that does like one of these as you're trying to go in a straight line, I highly suggest that you don't play with crop destruction on until you learn how not to hit your fields, I guess. That's a good way to put that. All right, so we're going to come back over here. We know everything spawns over here. So go back into the store. And you can see our seeders, planters, and it doesn't matter if you're using a seeder, a planter, which one you're using, how big it is, how small it is, none of that matters. Seeds are seeds or seeds are seeds. It's all the same. Doesn't matter what crop you plan on growing with them. It's all the same. Unless you get into like trees and things like that, but as far as like everything else that's going in a field, seeds are seeds or seeds. And I guess we only need one of them, right? I don't even know how much this stupid thing holds. And it's the same process. So you can see the menu, but you can also see like we have like a little cover on our seeder right here. Once we get close enough, it should pop open. Yep, you see how it automatically pops open. That way you know you're close enough, and then you could just fill her on up. Solid. It's gonna take not even half of the thing we just bought. Awesome. Or was that 1,000 or 2,000? I don't remember. But seeds usually go a long way. You can usually get a lot done with a small amount of seeds. So basically we'll just come over here and repeat the process that we've been doing this whole time. You'll get to know your fields really well, basically, because you're just gonna go pass after pass after pass on them. All right, so what do we want to do? We have wheat. Honestly, I think we have enough wheat to show what we're gonna show on this map. I don't know how far we're gonna go with this map. Depends on I guess it depends on the back and forth and the support and everything on it, because like if you're into the farming stuff but you want to see like a different farm, we could always start another one until we decide on one that we want to grow into something of our own. So I think for this one we'll just kind of use it for testing purposes. So for now, let's try something different like canola. And if you're not sure, you can come into the pause menu and you can come down to this calendar. And this is your growth calendar, like your crop calendar. So everything in green is when you can plant it. So we can plant certain crops in August and canola, August or September. You can do either or. And then the orange is going to be when can you harvest it. So if you plant it in August, you're not going to be able to harvest it again until, I'm sorry, August. You're not going to do it until July. So you just pay attention to that. And then like, what's something we can't plant? But it looks like barley we can't plant right now. So like let's say we were gonna try to do barley. It's August, so theoretically we can't, right? So we can turn the truck off, turn the seeder on, and it shows right there, it says this crop cannot be planted in August. So it won't even let you do it if you try to do it, which is fine. And I want to change that, please. Turn off, please. Thank you. Canola. That's what I wanted. And we'll get our GPS set back up. Well, I guess we could see if the worker will do this. Let's see if the worker will do it. So let's go back in here just so you guys can see that. AI worker. Got canola set up for him. We should be able to hit circle. And stop work. Unexpected field not ready for this work. This work. Or already worked. What are you talking about? What are you absolutely talking about? The AI workers are busted. I swear I'm trying to show you something that actually works and it's not doing it. So we're just gonna ignore it. Maybe if we get it started for them, maybe then it'll do something. But let's put that down. Why are you not planting? Why are you not planting? Are you not lowered all the way? I don't know why you're not planting. We have the right thing on, right? Turn off seeder, open cover, unload. Oh, this isn't good. Lift that. I want to use the seeder. That's not lowered. Hold on. I don't usually work with this kind of equipment where it's like whatever a power RO is or whatever. I usually use just the seeder, just the cultivator, just the whatever. Like I don't know what the hell this thing is. So we're gonna figure this one out together. Let's see. Turn that off. And I turn the seeder on. Aha. This might be why the worker wasn't working. So, now that the seeder's on, not the power haro or whatever that is, let's see if the worker will do this. Come over here, hit circle, hire your worker. No, he's still not gonna freaking do it. Okay. Eventually, we'll get this field planted, right? One could hope. How do I lower that? How do I lower you? Load. Bro, what is going on with this thing? What is going on with this thing? There has to be a reason why it's not working. Open cover, lift. That makes no sense to me. Take a look at it. Let's take a look at our equipment as if we know what the hell we're looking at here. I don't know what. It has seeds in it. I know that. I don't know what the hell we're doing wrong here. Honestly, we might just do a thing here. Let's do a thing. I don't know what this is doing. Let's unload. And then we're going to show you another part. Accidentally, we're going to show you something that you're going to end up doing a whole lot of. So let's go back down to the store. Because that makes a whole lot of sense. Turn that off. No reason to keep that on. I don't know what was going on there. It made no sense to me. That's okay. That's okay. That's another part of this game is there will be many, many, many question marks and many, many, many headaches. But that's what, honestly, hopefully what this video will be for you is how to stay calm and how to troubleshoot them without never playing the game again. So we're gonna come in here to our vehicles. We're gonna find that stupid thing. What is this? I think that's what I have, right? We're gonna sell that. Make a $20,000 from it. Ooh, ooh. Oh, we sold part of it. We sold part of it. I don't like multi-piece things. Let's sell that part too. Cool. So that's all gone. Come into the store and we will just buy our own dang seeder. This one never hurt anybody. This is usually the one that comes with the base game. So, oh, we can put a fertilizer unit on this one too. So perfect. So we can show you that whole part of the process. Buy that for $54,000. And then we're going to want to get some fertilizer. It's going to take solid fertilizer. So let's get one of you. And then here's our guy right over here. And then we can start filling her up. Now it's just a little bit of seeds that we had left over. We got some fertilizer too. Perfect. Now, let's go see if we can get this to work this time. I'll be so upset if it doesn't. So upset. Nice little town though. Small. Lots of things on the main road. You gotta dig that. Should make it easy to start selling. Oh, a fire department? You don't see that very often in the game. Alright, let's try this again. We could probably fit a lot of this fertilizer in here. Or seeds, I should say. Cool. Now let's get back onto canola. And we'll see if we can back this thing up and actually get the worker to work this time. Aha, perfect. Okay, let's see. Let's try this for the 100th time. AI worker set up. If I hit you, he's not gonna work. You stupid. You stupid. All right, let's do it ourselves. That's fine. It should work this time. Get our line set up. I think it's on, right? Turn off seated. So it's on. Should be good. Okay, so now it's working. And just to double check yourself, you could do a couple things. Bottom right, you can see the fertilizer's gone down. You'll see in a second that the canola is going to go down a little bit. And then you can also jump out here and see how on this side it has the soil, has nothing else growing, just that. You can come over here, and when you stand on this, It should say canola growing. Are we not planting the canola? What are we doing here, guys? What are we actually doing? Tell me that's working. The fertilizer's going down, but the canola's not going down. Okay, so we're just fertilizing the field at this point. What are we doing with our canola? Canola should be able to be planted right now, right? Like, I'm looking right at it. Green means plant. Or does green mean heart? No. Either way, it's August is August for canola. So why are you not going in the ground? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I dig the fact that we're fertilizing that, but why are we not planting? Like, I'm super happy that it's fertilized now, but this should be planted. What if we do, like, something else? What if we do... What if we see if wheat'll work? Is wheat one of the things in this time frame? No, we can't plant wheat until next month. Canola should be able to be planted. What about grass? Can we do grass? I just want to show that it can be done, that it works, that I know what I'm freaking talking about. All right, let's see. Let's get here. Let's turn this back on. Let's lower it down. Are you doing anything? You know what? We didn't work this field, did we? That was the one that was already done. What if we come over to a field we actually know we did ourselves? Maybe that has something to do with it. Turn this off. Let's go back to the canola. Let's pretend like that whole thing never happened. And we'll see if it works on over here. Okay, so it's fertilizing, but it's not. Oh, and the canola's going down. Perfect. So now it's working. I don't know. I guess that field wasn't cultivated, and I thought it was. I don't know what was going on with that field. Irregardless, this is the way it should work. And just like that, we problem solve. We problem solve without throwing the remote or turning off the stream or doing anything crazy. Get my bearings here again. Alright, so now we got canola going in the ground. And now I can show you. So we got, what, 998 liters over there with canola. You can see it'll start to slowly go down. 997, 996. So you know that way, if you're looking at it, that it's actually going in the ground. You're actually planting something. Or, when we get to the end here, I'll show you. We can get to the end. And you can walk over here. This is what I was trying to show you earlier. So, over here, we're standing in the middle of the field. It just tells you the type of soil you have. You own the field, nothing going on there. Come over here, it shows canola. It shows it's growing. That's what we're looking for. All right, so cool. We can get this whole field done now. Or, we could probably, this should be able to use the worker now. So if I kind of line you up, let's see if this will work. Get our AI worker, hit circle, and just like that, I'm not doing anything. I mean, I don't know why he's going over there, but the AI workers tend to do kind of like their own thing. I think he's going to start in the middle, maybe. I don't, God, I have no idea what he's going to do. Yep. For some reason, he's going to start in the middle. Which is fine. Which is totally fine. Because now that the AI worker's going, we can jump out. We can jump out here and look, we're not there. Our fields are going to get planted. He's got a job to do, and we are free to kind of do something else. So what do we want to show you? What do we want to show you? How about we put something down over here? We can come into build mode. construction mode. And so this is our little field over here. And then you have different things. So you have like your sheds, silos, constructibles, different things like gas tanks and tools like power washers and workshops and things like that. You can put a whole nother house down here if you wanted to. Factories. So like these are basically like if you wanted like a production point, like if you could take your wheat and turn it into flour, and then you can take your flour and drop it off at the bakery will then produce things like breads and cakes and whatnot, and then you could sell those. The more steps that you put in, the more money you're going to get back from it, which is pretty cool. But you can see they're awfully expensive, so we're not going to do that. This is our animals. So you got cows, horses, pigs, sheep, chickens, bees, and a doghouse. The sheep, the thing about sheep, it'll say sheep, but you can put sheep or goat in there. It's the same thing. Anything that says sheep will always apply to goat. And same thing with the cows. You have water buffalo in this game. It will never say water buffalo, but anything that says cows is applicable to water buffalo also. So what do we want to do? And then you could decorate things if you're building like custom builds. If you're building up your own farm, you could change the landscape, terraform it. You could paint, change like the textures of everything, put trees down, plants, all that fun stuff. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna put down a greenhouse. Show you that. And just in case we're doing this for the long play, we'll get like the most expensive one. This is a large glass greenhouse, and you can see this says large glass greenhouse. This says large tarp greenhouse. They do exactly the same thing. They move at exactly the same speed. They just, one looks wildly different from the other one. This one looks, in my opinion, super cheap. And it is. It's cheaper than the $54,000 one. Super nice and fancy and whatnot. But we're going to take care of that on this field over here. And when you're putting these down, so you got your water right there. And then I don't know what side the pallets come out on. I'm not sure. I thought it would have like a little thing on the side that would say it's either the left or the right, and I'm not sure if it's the same side as the water or not. But that's fine. We'll leave ourselves enough room for both. Where do we want to put you? In the front, in the back? How about we just kind of do this? Put that down. Cool. So that's $54,000. Comes out on the same side as the water. Cool. And you can see it changed the ground. It changed the ground forever. It might be a little bumpy there. If it is, we can always flatten it out with our painting tools. But cool. We can jump out of here now, and bam. Just like that, we have ourselves a greenhouse on what was once a field that we treated for absolutely no reason. But it's okay. And you can come over here. You can open the doors. You can go in. You can go to the menu. You can see in the top left it says manage production point. So you can manage it that way, or you can just hit pause. Either way, doesn't matter. It's all the same stuff. But before we can manage it, we need to go get water. And to get water, we need to buy a trailer. So hopefully we don't run out of money. I'm trying to show you guys all this. Well, do you have a trailer hitch on you? You don't. What a waste. What a waste. What a waste. What a waste. Can I put a trailer hitch on you? We could try. We could try. So if you take any vehicle to the vehicle shop, there should be a little area down there where you can... oh, he's moving fast. Look at how he's getting all that done. Good for him. He's taking all our money in the process. But yeah, you can take any vehicle down there, and you can put a bigger engine in it. You could repair it. You could change the paint color on it. You do all that from the vehicle workshop. And yeah, of course, you can put like vehicle workshops like at your own farm, and that way you don't have to go anywhere. But all those fun things cost a lot of money, so when in doubt, you could always just come down to the vehicle workshop, which I think might be this over here. Yeah, you can see the yellow markings on the ground. Pop on out. and little wrench icon, and then boom, you can see it says customize or repaint. We want to customize it. And we want to add a trailer hitch. And so, like without one, with one, we want to add that on for 500 bucks. Cool. And now when we come back out to our truck, we got ourselves a trailer hitch, which is awesome. God, that truck sounds like it's gonna not start one of these times. And we'll come back over here and then we can buy ourselves a trailer for some water, a barrel. We'll just get the small one just so I can show you the process. That only fits two. That's gonna be such a small trailer for the size greenhouse that we got, but that's fine. Buy that up for $6 grand. Come on over here. Hopefully this trailer hitch works with this, otherwise I'm gonna be super duper upset. But it should work just fine. Cool. So now we got ourselves a trailer, we got ourselves a greenhouse, we got ourselves everything we need. Now we just need to fill this up with water, which I think on this farm, I'm pretty sure they have a water thing. We'll just have to go find it is all. What is the best way to get over there without crashing into anything? Cool. We'll use the little path. That makes the most sense. Swing her around maybe. Come on, Betsy. Alright, cool. So just like before when we were filling like the seeds and everything, once you get closer it says start filling. It's the same process. Oh no, this water tank on the map charges you for water. Alright, well we're gonna show you a way to get around that. That's insane. How much was that? $624 for one tank of water? Yeah, right. Who would in their right mind would do that? So we'll show you a little shortcut around that. That was dumb. So same process as before. You come over here. Once you get close enough, you can see controls at the bottom. You can dump the water in there. And now that the water's in there, we can come on over here, go into our menu. Hello. And now we're in our production. This is our large greenhouse, and you can kind of see it can hold 40,000 liters of water. We put 2,000 liters of water in there. That will go super fast. You're going to want to fill up your greenhouses, and you're going to want to check them every day. Otherwise, you're not going to grow anything. But 2,000, that's not going to last more than a couple hours. But basically, you can come in here, and this greenhouse, this is everything it's capable of doing. And you could do all of them by hitting X and activating them all. Or you can just pick one that you want to do. We'll do lettuce. That's fine. So we'll just do lettuce, and then when you come out here, you can see we have nothing but lettuce growing. AI worker finishes task. That's awesome. Good news for us. And then you can come back in here too, and then so we don't have a way of moving this stuff, right? So if you hit storing, which it's set to right now, once you grow enough lettuce and it starts putting it on a pallet for you, it'll show up right here. It'll show up in pallets all the way down this thing with lettuce in them. But you can't pick them up. You have to have like a front loader or forklift, something like that, to be able to put it like on a trailer in a truck or something. So since we don't have that, you can come down here and you can see, I don't know if it's going to show up behind anything or not. You can see where it says change output mode and how that goes to selling, distributing, or storing. So you can go to selling, and now every time there's a pallet that's ready, it won't show up. You won't have to move it. You won't have to do anything. Your money will just go up because it'll sell it for you. It does take a little bit of money. There's a little bit of a fee for it to do that, but it's not much. Especially when you're first getting started and everything, that's probably the way you want to go, just to not get overwhelmed with yourself. All right, so we can put this out here like this. Let's check our field. And now we got canola. It's growing. It's fertilized. It's got lime. It's good to go. It is good to go. What haven't we done? What haven't we done already? how much is we can see the animals if you want to see how that goes. We'll go into construction again. You go down to animals. We'll do chickens since those are super cheap. And then it says there, it has like the little animal logo and it has a number, so you can fit 30 chickens in that one, 31 in that one. Okay, only 20 in that one. And you can come all the way down here and get some of these big ones. Oh, that's cheap. Hold on. You can get this one. You can fit 360 chickens in this one. So I don't think we need to do all that. I really don't. We could probably get away with like the 30 piece chicken nugget. And we could put that down, I don't know, probably catty corner opposite of our greenhouse. And then you just want to check and make sure, like when you're putting this down, you have access to what you need. So the thing on the left of it, that little silo looking thing and the little trough icon, I guess that's what it is. That's where you're going to fill the food. You're going to put wheat in there, chicken food, whatever you give your chickens, that's where you need access to get to that. And then the thing over here, the yellow and black, that's where the pallets of eggs are going to come out. So you're going to want to do the same thing we did over there. Make sure you have access to all that. And then you can just put that down. And then, like I said, it's going to change the color of the ground, but we'll fix that here in a second. We'll kind of show that. And then we have chickens. And then, well, we don't have chickens yet. We don't have any chickens yet. You're going to want to come over to it. And there should be this little paw print. It'll be like that on every single animal thing that you have. It'll be a little paw print icon. And that's basically the same thing we did with the greenhouse, where you can open the like the information palette or box for it, I guess. And then you can see what you can put in it. So you can get roosters for realism. You can get a rooster and a couple chickens, and then they will reproduce. You don't need it though. It's really just cosmetic. You could literally just get all the chickens and they will somehow magically reproduce, or you could just buy enough. Then the difference between the ages and stuff, like obviously the super small ones, the babies, they're super cheap, but they won't give you any eggs. They won't reproduce. They won't do anything until they're old enough to do that. So if you come down here to 6 months, it says 6 months can reproduce and they'll start laying eggs and whatnot. So we'll get a bunch of these. It fits 30, we're gonna get 30. Why not? So we do that, and then bam, we got chickens. Just like that, we got chickens. They're contained, they're good. Our little chicken coop right there, our eggs are gonna come out, and they'll come out on pallets, so you don't have to worry about that. But what are we gonna do? Because you come up here, our chickens are not healthy, they're not productive, they're not making eggs because they don't have any food. So what are we gonna do about that? We are gonna find a tractor. And we're going to reverse the process that we had earlier. We're going to turn this on. I'm glad we didn't sell that. You swing her around town. Come over here, and just like the reverse of what we did earlier, we can fill it up. And whatever you have in your silo, because you could fit a number of different things in there, you can just cycle through whatever's in there, and it'll tell you, and then you can say start, and then boom, it's going to start filling. I guess that was everything we had. God, that field gave us nothing earlier. And then we'll come over here to our chicken coop. We'll try to find the trigger. Might be a little difficult to get into, but we can back up into it until we see the icon, and then boom, it's gonna look like it's going into the ground. It's not. It's going into the chicken coop, and I'm guessing it's gonna take all of that. And then if you wanted to double check yourself, boom, you can see our food capacity has gone up. Don't worry that it doesn't say productive. Don't worry that it doesn't say healthy. They need to eat that for the rest of the day, and then when you start the new month, it'll go up. It'll go up. Your chickens will be healthy. You'll be making money from the eggs, and you'll be good. So we could probably put this over here. We should be just about done. Can't think of anything else other than exploring. Let me can you open these? Oh, nice. Little extra storage they have down here. I don't know what the hell you would put in here. cool nonetheless. Little details. What is this? Do I own this? Anyone home? No. Okay. Just the building. Alright, so we did animals, we did silos, we did cultivating, we did harvesting, we did greenhouses, we did AI workers, we did the store. Yeah, man. I think as far as the tutorial goes and how to you know, don't get overwhelmed, how to troubleshoot, how to kind of, I don't know, go through the process and everything, I think we basically covered everything. So if you have any questions, you're watching this obviously not live or whatever, and you have questions or you want to see another video like this where maybe a specific example of something, a different map, a different style of something, we can 100% do that. Be more than happy to do that. Farming Sim is one of my all-time favorite, like, just sit back, relax type games. So anything you guys want to see, anything you want to see differently, totally let me know in the comments. Let me know if this video was helpful at all. Hopefully it was to some people. And then if you have any questions based off that, just let me know and we'll go from there. But hopefully you guys had fun watching this, and we'll check you guys in that next episode, whenever that may be, whenever it comes up. You guys have a good rest of your day. We'll see you later.